Hi guys, Barry from PABrewNews. Oh, whatever. Saturday morning, May 23rd, and just got done doing a lot of running around and bills and this and that and chopping trees and everything. So, beer time. Beer time. What beer? Big beer. What big beer? Frederiksens Væsel Brunch, which is a collaboration between Mikkeller and Amager. Oh yeah, like that. Anyway, what style is it exactly? It is a Imperial oatmeal stout brewed with coffee. Yes, yes it is. Now I've had Frederiksens. I've had like Beer Geek Breakfast. I've never had Beer Geek Weasel or Beer Geek Brunch Weasel or anything like that. But hopefully that'll compensate. I haven't ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen Beer Geek Weasel, so I didn't pick it up. But this is the collab between the two. Apparently it's a blend of Frederiksens and Beer Geek Weasel, or Beer Geek Weasel Brunch, or something like that. So there's a slight stain of a beer that was previously in here, and I'm not going to worry about it because it was in the clean section, and maybe that's not clean, that's crazy. So anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. Real men don't worry about things like that. Okay, very sticky alcohol legs, and it's already sticking to the side of the glass very nicely. This is, I wanted to let you know, it is 10.7 alcohol by volume, 500 milliliter. It was $14, but collabs are pretty rare, so it's really interesting to try. Aroma time? I think it's aroma time. It's black. Yeah. Real earthy, roasty coffee, but I'm also getting like subtle hints of a spicy floral booze and a little bit of a almost like burnt, like semi-burnt pipe tobacco, and it's giving me off a little raisin way in the back under that char component that's in here. Yeah, there is some soft dark fruits in there, which is nice. Little baker's chocolate, little milk chocolate. Nice component with that smoky char. And remember, Frederiksens was a little bit more on the bitter, dark side of things. Frederiksens also had a Centennial hops in it, so it had a high IBU, which probably added to some of the intensity and astringency that it had. Let us get into this one. Cheers. Got a low full mouthfeel. It's bordering on the lower side of a full mouthfeel, but it does have, just like Frederiksens had, I remember, because that one was I had most recently. It does have some of those clinging flavors that cling and linger on. It's not very sweet. There's not a lot of like sweet oats or anything like that going on in here. It's more on that darker side, the darker, danker, a little bit more of that earthy bitterness. Char, roasty smoke. Of course, the coffee aspect is definitely in there. Yeah, real astringent tannic notes. Definitely got a big black coffee, char, smoke, tannic char, a little tannic oak almost, drying out my palate. I think those Centennial hops that are in there are also put into this brew because it's drying my palate out, leaving almost a hint of an earthy pine note coming through some of that coffee. For 10.7 though, everything else is kind of bombarding your palate, the char notes and tannic notes, astringent notes, coffee, chocolate, more of a sugarless baker's chocolate. Those kind of notes. More dry. Even a soft bit of almost a molasses because of those little bit of fruit note that's way behind everything. It's a good beer. That ABV is completely hidden. It's surprisingly easy to drink as long as you can get past, as long as you can handle the bitterness and the drying tannic notes, the astringency. It's a good beer. If you don't like the super dry bitter beers, bitter Imperial Stouts, this one you should probably steer clear of because it has it in spades, those notes. But as it goes, it's a very, very good beer. I think you'll find, I don't know what time it is right now, but I think you'll find that Herr Fredriksen pairs quite well with this. Just the base of Herr Fredriksen has a very reminiscent touch to this. And that comes in a 500 milliliter bottle as well. I can't remember exactly. Oh, it's only 0.2% alcohol less than that. Yep. So, yeah, definitely has some Centennial pine earthy notes going on in there. Definitely would, I wouldn't be surprised if this had, just like Herr Fredriksen, a substantially high IBU. I can't remember the price of Herr Fredriksen off the top of my head, but I'm sure it wasn't $14, if you know what I'm saying. I think I'd probably go with the Herr Fredriksen. I would pair them equally in quality, though. In quality, they're equal. I like both of these beers a little bit more than the fresh, the most recent Beer Geek breakfast I had. Now, I haven't had the Beer Geek brunch recently. I know there is definitely a big difference, so don't yell at me. I'm going to par this on the 9 scale. I'm going to go flat out 9. It is just as good as for Herr Fredriksen. Both could definitely use a little bit more body, and a little bit more of a complex sweet note kind of playing in there, just a little bit. But that's for me to enjoy it. Just that's for me personally. They're both good beers, and if you like the more bitter side of an Imperial Stout, definitely go give these a try. Bordering on black IPA, if those Centennial hops were even like, if this was super fresh, something like that, you'd probably get almost a black IPA. Playful, piney, earthy notes, like Malevolent from Mythic Nickelbrook has in it. I would say this one pairs extremely well with Herr Fredriksen as far as quality goes and the overall flavors. It's more on the darker, bitter side, astringent side of an Imperial Stout, and those Centennial hops that are I would assume are in here are coming out. Earthy, soft pine notes. I don't know what this would taste like super fresh. I think they would be even kicked up a little bit more, almost to that borderline black IPA, beer hop breakfast, that kind of a taste. So if you don't really like those bitterness factors and tannic astringencies, this probably wouldn't be the one for you. But if you are thinking about give them a go, and you do like that kind of quality, because Herr Fredriksen's 0.2% less alcohol and equal quality, I would say, to me, they taste very equal in quality and just overall similarity. I would probably go with the Herr Fredriksen if you want to give it a go, because it's probably a lot less than the beer or the Herr Frederiksens Væsel Brunch. But all in all, they're very both good beers. I remember in liking the Beer Geek breakfast, things like that. I know they're different beers, but I like these ones a little bit more, I'd have to say. I'm gonna knock this one just about the same place I put Herr Fredriksen, which was a 9 out of 10. And just so you know what Herr Fredriksen looks like, there we go. So give it a go. If you had it, let me know what you think, and all that kind of good stuff. So until we meet again, this has been Paul from PABrewNews. Cheers.